Are we on? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Microphone check. Lights. Cameras.
This is swanky. This is lifestyle. This is culture. Welcome to the social center of everything culture. Culture Daily.
Already dropped this banger and you can see visuals on the screen. Don't you just love it? Good morning again and welcome. It's 14 minutes past the hour of 9, the final hour of the show, all the way till 10 a.m. on this glorious Monday here on Culture Daily, live on your screens on 3 Music TV, plus on radio on plus 89.9 FM and on socials as well across all our digital platforms, right from TikTok all through YouTube to Facebook and Instagram. You will find us on there. This morning we are delving deep into the world of good movies and underline the good movies. Underlined again, good movies. A major breakthrough again and changing the narrative and the perception of what we think of the Ghanaian movie landscape. Well, this man is our guest this morning, and he's put some fire into that space. We are honored to have the legendary. He's a quiet person, but he's not that quiet when it comes to the screen. The legendary Mr. William Kojo Agbeti joins us live in the studio this morning.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is here.
Yep.
Name might sound new to you, but when we show you this, your jaws will drop and you go like, now let's have a conversation. So how about we just show you this trailer, which has just caught the socials. It's gone viral. If you haven't seen it, it's a fresh chance for you to see it live on the screens. Check it out.
Bank your mommy and you. Now, cool, hello. Mokumini chucho, kuena kucho.
Baba na yo si lawyer. Trakeji.
Mouse Momo Cardini York Hambo. Come on, what Dubai.
Manuel Minta na ke habo. Manya uke wa bedono. Ode.
Esani sao he bona feni obaye energy. Amokoko.
Maybe also some.
Sanugbe machabi nule. Sainla hino mabujini.
Mwaka mekumi yami pama jamai. Shimi himi ye.
Namo dra into le.
Gendo ko ewo muji. Bele ewo muji. Onu.
Chachu wulule. Enyo. Macheleke wokedo.
You know, there's an old advert back in the day that went like, Insiona, bo. I don't know, for those of you who probably remember, Kojo just opened the floodgates. He just opened the floodgates for me. Congratulations. Like, I just love what I just saw. Honestly.
Looks good.
Woo!
Looks good.
Even before we come to this, let's come to this. Tell us about the making of this video. I know it's out. Is it out on Okwaba Magic yet? Is it out now?
6 March.
6th March. Oh, wow. How do you feel about that personally?
It's great. I mean, to have the whole country celebrate your work, I feel it's an honor. You know, to also have this opportunity, it's a blessing.
You come off as there's a bit of uncertainty on your expectations on 6th of March, or am I false?
The expectations are high, you know, but trust us, it's good.
it's what are your expectations of this movie when released?
I feel the whole Ghana should embrace it, to celebrate our culture, our diversity as a country, and I feel when that happens, Akwa Magic, did a great job by commissioning this project, and for us, they are celebrating our diversity as a country, so it's good for us, it's good for the channel. And it's good for everybody.
We are going to get to know your magic very soon, all about you. But tell us about this movie, because I mean, it caught when it was released on the trailer was released on socials. I mean, there were a lot of attention. People were talking about it. The quality. We are yet to understand storyline, but I'm very sure it was that people were looking at the technical angles of this trailer and were like, okay, there's something different about this. But what is the movie about? I mean, so even though you don't want to spoil the juice for us.
Yeah, not to go deep into the storylines and all that. It's a reimagined story of a famous Ghana, woman king, Dode Akabi, and how she was able to work her way through the corridors of power. So I just want to leave it there.
Ghana woman king. Oh wow! So aside Antia, who was for the Ashantis, there was also a Ghana woman king.
Yes.
Wow. How come we haven't spoke? I don't know. My history is this bad. Wow.
And she's the very first woman king.
She's the first, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Dode.
Yeah.
How much work had gone in there with you in researching about this?
Right.
Because I'm sure you'd have to understand.
Yes, we have to understand the story, but just also to reiterate the fact that it's a reimagined story of Dode Akabi. So this, her story inspired the making of this film. Right.
When you were commissioned to do this, what were some of the things that ran through your mind as a cinematographer, as a film director on this? Because in achieving this, let the people understand. I mean, yes, it's reimagined, but to understand this coming from your perspective would mean that a lot of work has to go in there.
Of course, there's a period film. So from the creative department, we just want to have a touch of modernity to it. Just like we know our African stories, our African way of dressing, our costumes and all that. We have to try and create a whole new world that we believe the story can be situated in. So there are a lot of, technical aspects that we didn't take for granted. Of course, the texture of an epic film also has to be considered. What color, tone are you going for? The kind of environment, and the challenge for creating epic films in today's era is the suitability of the location, to translate to your vision. And you have to go further and further. And some of the projects, some of the scenes we shot in the Volta region, some we shot in Accra here. And you can imagine trying to find out pieces of location, like a kind of photo collage or a video collage, to piece together to create the kind of world that our story was situated in. And it was challenging, and of course,
okay, listen,
all these things have to be
there's
put into perspective.
One question I want to ask, then please, I'll ask my friends also throw in. There's only one question. So we can do this?
Yes, we can.
No, it beats my imagination. Some have already been done. We've seen other movies, yes, from renowned Ghanaian directors, film directors that have done such, but it comes off as it's once in a blue moon. It just comes from once in a blue moon. Is it a financial conversation? Is it a creative conversation? Is it a platform or expertise or association with some corporate bodies? I don't understand.
I feel the most important thing here, I would want also to, really pat the backs of Akwa Magic. They've really done great, because it wouldn't have been possible for us to, as a production house, Motion Revolution, to, put in the budget for such, a movie. So they coming in to commission this project, I feel, is a big opportunity for us, to use the resources available that was given to us, commissioned to, do something like this. And I feel it's the kind of power they give to us. And
so
I feel
is it a financial conversation? Because if it's financial, then we can then streamline some of our Ghanaian problems with regards to film to
I really don't
finance.
I really don't think so. I believe, the expertise are needed. People who are resourceful, well-researched, good directors, good cinematographers, and people who have that artistic, prowess.
So are you saying that, okay, I don't want to put words into your mouth, but does it come off as if that for a very long time then, we have not, as a country, we have not assembled the right people, and I'm putting a general blame so that nobody takes a shot at this, that we haven't assembled the right people to be able to come up with things as beautiful as this. We've seen some directors do it, but the bigger chunk of movies that have come out from Ghana haven't met a certain standard, which we complain. Storyline, the quality of the graphics, all those things you just mentioned. Does it come off as then we haven't assembled the right people to do some of these things?
Yeah, I believe as an industry, we are finding our path to that.
So where have you been?
in my small corner, Brighton.
Because then I'm very impressed with what I've seen. And for me, for film, I'm not a director. I look at certain basic things, as in camera angles, the grading, the color, the choices, the mood. So many things to determine if this movie first technically would do it for me, even before I come to storyline. And it looks like all those boxes have been ticked. And then it piques my interest that, okay, so how have we hidden all these things away from what goes into the movies, in most of the movies that have come out? Because it looks like it's so flat. I don't know. It's...
Yeah, that's the word. You just said it.
It's flat.
It's like lacks texture, depth, meaning.
So... is it expensive to produce such thing?
Yes, it is expensive. It's expensive.
Give us a ballpark.
I can't speak for certain jurisdictions.
Well, not for this movie that you shot, but yes. To achieve such, what should we be looking at?
I feel,
considering our local settings and access to logistics and all those things.
Yeah, I feel most importantly, yes, budget is very important, because the beauty of the soup is the meat. And it's very expensive also to do that. I feel if corporate bodies can step in, a lot of producers, a lot of people can invest in the film industry. We have a lot of creative guys like me out there.
Do you know what the reason why we are asking for figures? Now, I believe that maybe my team will understand this, that we've heard a lot of directors speak about budgets. We need money. But never has there been a standard for a budget for a good Ghanaian movie. So am I saying that as an investor, if I have $100,000, is that enough to give me a good Ghanaian movie?
Of course.
We've never been able to put figures to it. So we've always, anybody can just, think that 50,000 cedis should be okay to put off a Ghanaian movie. And we've carried...
You can put off a Ghanaian movie, but not that.
The production quality.
Yeah, the production.
Yeah, so we're asking about the standard.
Because you need to garner a lot of, experience. We need to garner a lot of brains. You understand? For me, we did a lot on this project. As Motion Revolution, we did a lot on this project. We had in-house, directors. I did the cinematography myself as well. To get it. So it's yes, of course. You get paid for all these things, but with the expertise, once you are able to invest in the expertise, I'm pretty sure you pull off a very good.
How many members were on the crew?
Yeah.
On the crew, we're about 30 or 40.
Wow,
that's a lot.
Yeah.
Is that your biggest crew you've worked with? So far?
No, not. We not that. We did not that.
So this is not even your biggest crew.
This is not the biggest crew.
What project did you have the biggest crew to work with?
Azali.
Yes. I'm glad you mentioned that. If production is ready, I think we could show a trailer, because when I did my research, I noticed he was the same dude behind Azali, so I wasn't then too surprised.
The cinematographer.
Yeah. He wasn't a writer. He was just a cinematographer and a director. So I noticed
and the
that.
Editor.
Yeah, I noticed that you are the guy who needs to be empowered. When we give you the tools, you are able to bring your vision to life. Okay, so production. If Azali is ready, let's take a look at the Azali trailer, and then we'll do our own juxtaposition.
Amina tankan kayina. Abinyo buma. Nisa lo buso ipionwa ma.
Akwala baba buma.
The Zerima Puma Fila.
She's the woman getting jobs for our little ones in Burkina and beyond.
Me can't do this. Amina, my one child.
I'm a brother. Who's Hazan? I'm them saying. How am I?
Rukaya, do you think you are better than all the other mothers who have sent their children away?
From today, me and you, we will make good money. Eh? You know, say you be fine, girl.
The two need to Amina she, the two need to go she. Akato, Pam Solo. She catch Anganga.
When they're gonna see this, just go just sleep with me.
When you fear, in your picky waste the one they remove and fast. Me buy I maybe she will be no. I was a fan sempre primo. No be wanna be.
Once upon a time, Lydia said something to me, and I'm seeing it manifest right in front of me. That there are some kinds of movies that some kinds of directors are best fit for, in producer, because they do understand how to bring the storyline. I can tell just by watching that. I'm even pulling off a lot of emotions in this trailer. But Odele, you were going to talk about Azali.
So I was asking, Azali was shot in what year?
In 2017, released in 2018.
Okay, so I noticed that with the treatment in Azali and the treatment in the Queen of Accra, there was a vast difference.
Yes.
Right. So, would you mind sharing the lessons, that you say after Azali, maybe you took out of and then put into Queen of Accra, because the color grading and the cinematography in Queen of Accra is impeccable, bar none. I mean, you could see the future in Azali. You could see that there were attempts, because there were some scenes that were not coordinated in terms of color grading, but with Queen of Accra, it was just consistent throughout. So I'm just wondering if Azali had more crew members than Queen of Accra. What was the secret ingredient?
Well, as you rightly said, owing to the lessons of the past, you know what we did wrong and what we could do better. So we took a lot of lessons from Azali, what didn't work and what we could rectify. You understand? So yes, a lot of research, a lot of technological savvy accrued over the past. Now we are going into the softwares, the newer softwares. We are trying newer grading tools, newer applications, and just to make the way. And AI too is now into the field. Do you get it? So making use of all these resources, and it's a better generation we are today.
Do you think that the way the Queen of Accra and the conversations that have come around it, do you think that this is the template? This should be the Ghanaian template?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, I know you might want to be biased. It's okay because it's your film. It's okay. But I'm just saying that people have called for movies that are Netflix worthy, whatever that means, right?
I'm sorry, I've moved from Netflix to Prime.
To Prime.
Thank you. Yeah.
But people are calling for Ghanaian movies. That
Apple TV's got. I love Apple TV. I like that. Sorry, I like how they put the templates. I like the tiles, the tiles, the user interface. Forget Netflix. Yeah.
So people are looking for movies like or shall I say, fans like us who watch these type of movies like J. Foley is seeing on Apple TV, on Amazon Prime and whatnot. So as soon as I saw Queen of Accra, immediately you could tell psychologically it was accepted. Would you say that this should be
exactly
the template? Because people have tried to
we can still push the boundaries. we can still push the boundaries.
That means if we
you see, the reason why I'm going to push, the reason I'm going to push you to the wall with Olele's question is that, look, we four, in fact, yes, she was the moderator, but we three have been pundits and moderator on National Film Authorities Africa Film Summit, and it was very clear that we have all identified a challenge with our movie space. And to quote what Ole is saying, it looks like there isn't a standard. So if I take an American movie and I'm watching, and then let me just use them for example. If I even take a Chinese movie and I'm watching, there is a certain standard that has been set in terms from storyline to quality, So, America always sees the day. You can never take that away from them. America will always save the world. Yes, that they are making the world believe that once it's America, is there. So they have Captain Planet, they have Superman, they have all the biggest people are coming from them. So in identifying such as what you have shot, which I see a certain trend in there, can we arguably say that this should be a certain template that we should follow? And I do understand that will come off other directors as, hey, who said yours is, but we've seen something good.
Yeah.
So we are speaking to it. Can this be a Ghanaian template?
Well, I'll leave it for the better judgment of.
You are very political.
What should so what in your opinion, what should be some of the guidelines that we should follow as film directors, cinematographers, and all the graphics in there, the people who play roles in this, for us to follow, so that we can have a certain standard set that anything below this should not be. I shouldn't be too hard to say.
You know why we're asking you these things?
Yeah.
I paid attention to the reactions that came out of the trailer. Right.
Yes.
And some people were saying that, there've been other films. Why are we not talking about it? Right. And that should tell you that this particular film, although just a trailer, seems to have triggered something within Ghanaians. Like, you could see comments like, it is possible. We can do this in Ghana. Like Jay's asking, how much did it cost to do this film? And you are even telling that you use a smaller crew compared to, Azali. I don't know if technology made it possible to use a smaller crew.
Efficiency improved.
Exactly. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and you're even saying that if you had more money, you could do more crazy things. You get what I'm saying? So, these conversations have been going on and on and on and on. So, I just want to find out, is this the time we all sit down and say, okay, what, let's all come together and let's set this as the standard, for Ghanaian cinema? Because it's been a while since we've been in a conversation. Yeah. There are people in Nigeria, as I'm talking to you right now, who have DM'd me and asking me where they can watch the movie. We'll get to that later. Right. There are people outside the country who are asking, where can we watch The Queen of Accra? I don't know if after Aqua Magic is done with their line saying they'll put it out there, but that's another conversation. That should tell you that this thing has gone very far. So I feel like we've cracked the code.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to answer.
I think to see if we can tease the answer out, maybe not. Let's not use
standard.
Yeah, let's not use this film, but let's use this type of film. Right. Now, I've seen a lot of directors try to capture various stories, contemporary African stories, modern stories, twist of sci-fi and fantasy, etc. But when we are trying to capture our historical moments in an epic style, we seem to do well with that. So I'm refining the question that, as opposed to making whatever other movies that we are free to make, do you think us tapping into our heritage and our history and bringing about stories like this, where this is the first woman queen, actually, before we all are shouting Yasantiwa, there was this girl queen. So do you think this is the road we should be on? Not with regards to cinematography or the quality or your work, but with regards to the style of our cinema. If I look at Bollywood, there's a style of their cinema. If I look at South Africa, there's a style of their cinema. Do you think Ghana's style is going back to our stories?
Yes, and there are a lot of stories out there currently that, are woven into a Ghanaian folklore within our culture brands. And I feel, yes, people are now waking up to the fact that, we need to tell our own stories. We need to empower, the Ghanaian story, the Ghanaian culture and all that. And I feel when we are able to toe that direction, yes, of course, who can better tell our stories than we ourselves. You know, and I believe in that. I feel we should go that direction.
With the use of language, right? I want us to speak on that. Was that ever like a holdback for you? Did that give you any second thoughts? Because I understand that, yes, language, breaks boundaries. We don't even have to understand it. We've seen it in our music, right? And even with movies as well, where, they will transcribe and just, will read from there. But was that a holdback for you, in trying or deciding to use English, which will hopefully, quote unquote, travel farther than, Ga?
Well, yes, then also draw back to the pre-discussions we had with the channel, during the commissioning phase of this project. It was that, yes, it's, there's this holdback. Is this something that will resonate? Is this something that would pass? And I feel we're back and forth, on that subject. Then finally, the commissioning editor was like, you know what? Let's give it a try. Okay. I feel let's go all out for it. And that is the power of vision for me. You understand? You have vision. There are roadblocks in your psychological framework. How is it going to fit? How is it going to work?
Even the resources, the available resources.
Right. And then let's break free and see how that would resonate.
How did that make
people.
you feel when you heard them go like, let's give it a shot?
Green light, let's go.
It was difficult.
I can imagine.
Really?
Yes.
Pressure. I thought you'd be excited then.
No. It's not just it's not just about excitement.
Right.
We are talking about Ghana that is not spoken in this generation. We are talking about biblical Ghana.
Yeah.
And Ghana you are great and everything only but then getting the people, and that was even a challenge for actors. Imbibing the true, Ghana, the indigenous Ghana.
Yeah.
And it was a learning curve for all of us,
Would it have been better if it was the slang Ghana?
Well, I don't know.
In terms of commercial viability,
really, yes. I think the creative department, we were like, okay, let's try and bring. You see, we are trying to unearth culture, re-unearth our stories.
Yeah.
So if we want to do something in Ghana, and we are looking at today's Ghana, and I feel it really does not sit well with the period and style of the film.
There won't be any sync, right?
Do you get it? Because at the time, I'm pretty sure it's more
British Ghana.
When it comes to the cultural context, apart from the language, what else was a challenge, or what else was a critical part that you didn't have to compromise? I mean, the language, costume, setting, all those things that we saw on the scene there. Because, I mean, I saw some calabash and and those are all intentional props placed in there. So how did you capture the cultural context?
Cultural context, of course. We were a bit anachronistic about, choice of costume and stuff like that, because depicting a true epic, a true epic. I mean, it's a lot of resources to put together. So costume department, creative department, we had to reimagine some of the outfits. So it wouldn't be like your typical, 17, 18 kind of costume, we need to at least add a little bit of modernity to it. It is fashion, so we need to embellish it a bit.
Visually pleasing
visually pleasing the bed. So of course, creators will come hard, but yes, we've made it clear that all of the things that you're going to witness in this film, a lot of it are reimagined costume, reimagined, world and all that. So that it wouldn't be like, this sackcloth and all that kind of the kind of thing we've seen in, Yes, and I feel that a lot of movies like Wakanda and all those things, they've broken the boundary where, costumes,
they can spend $1 million just on costume.
To reimagine what that world would be, and that's what we set out to do.
I see three parts of the film.
Right.
I see the choreography, the fight scenes, the action scenes. I see the storytelling, trying to tell the big story, and I see the individual character development. Which one was most challenging as a cinematographer?
Well, I'd say basically putting together every aspect of it, putting together, the mechanisms of it, they're all challenging. Because for me, yes, how would your costumes react to certain light? So there are times that we have to scrap certain costumes because, it wasn't working for the light. You get it. And some of these things, sometimes we get on locations and we get to know that, okay, the choice of location is not created. We have to go find locations that will suit our narrative. So we get in there and we realize, okay, all these costumes and all these things that we have imagined was not working for the space. So right now you have to think creatively how you can maneuver some of these things. You understand? And most challenging for me, I don't always want to talk about the creative challenges because obviously everybody goes through that. But one thing that I learned, as a director, a cinematographer in here was the management aspect of it, the human resources. And it's one of the
leadership.
It can break you. It can break you because you're dealing. All the departments must work in unison to make sure that the actors will shine. And we take certain things for granted. Catering. Oh, okay, it's catering. You don't see that on the screen. Oh, Ebeba. But you are fighting, exhausted. You've consumed a lot of energy, and the food is not ready.
Oh, it's not good.
Yeah, it breaks you at a point. So when we talk about, the challenges in production, I want to drive back a bit. Do you understand? It is what is behind the scene that is most challenging because people don't really talk about that. They don't talk about the caterer. They don't talk about, the gaffer. They don't talk about the best boy. They don't talk about those that are running. And there's a point in time, if these human forces are broken.
Even the person who has got the Momo account who's making small payments as before.
Yeah, and I feel that is the most stressful aspect of it.
You have a big fan on social. Just not a question. Okay. Just acknowledging someone. Leonora Ajin Tete. Tete is giving you a lot of shouts. I don't know if you know the person.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great. So Leonora, good morning. And yes, we're making history happen. So history's about to be made.
Anyway, one thing that stood out to me, on seeing the trailer was the title, Queen of Accra, where the Accra is spelled with a K instead of the regular CC that we know. I understand that art imitates life, right? Is there a reason, you didn't maintain the regular spelling of Accra as we know it? So are there any legal, reasons why this was done? Or was it just, your decision to make?
I wouldn't dodge that.
You want to dodge that?
Yeah, because these things will come hard. Yeah, I just want to leave it as it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that like
so
a creative?
We'll take it. I get it. It's either with these things,
because
right?
The moment you go into some of these things, then you are trying to carve another discourse that. For me.
Talking about your fans.
Right.
Sorry, let me just touch a quick message from our sponsors. Eddie Gladys says, anachronistic, my dear. What's an anachronistic word for an anachronistic movie with an anachronistic director? You have a lot of fans on socials, I must tell you. D says, good one there. We need more of this super productions. You have a lot of fans, I must tell you. There is Benjamin Quay says, Director William, congratulations. Very grateful to be part of this historic project. May the good Lord continue to smile on you and cause the works of your hands to prosper. We'll read more messages there. Olele, you were going to ask.
Yeah, yes. I was going to touch on the discourse. I mean, the reactions that came after the trailer and how certain people thought that a particular language needed to be used to cut across commercially. I'm sure you've seen some of them and how it ended up changing the discourse of the movie and putting a spotlight on how we've amplified a particular group, to be seen as the torchbearers of certain creative, deliverables. How did that make you feel? Because even though you had subtitles in English, there were still concerns that, I don't understand Ga and I don't speak Ga, and people they fail to see the opportunity to learn Ga, But of course, you created a different conversation about some, it's an undercurrent, we know, but this actually amplified it some more, and there was a clear divide. How did that make you feel?
Okay, first of all, the irony of this is, the movie you've seen the trailer, of course. The Queen of Accra was not made by a Ghana. I'm never William Kojo Agbeti.
Straight.
I'm not dangerous man.
Straight.
I'm not a Ghana.
Right.
And there are a lot of people out there that are Shantis, that are Kwapims, that are Evers, that are Nordness. You know, the movie itself in its making embraced our cultural diversities.
To become
people
a reality.
From different tribes came together to do a Ghanaian cultural story. And I feel that we need to celebrate it. And if you look at the channel Akwaba Magic, they've also embraced the cultural diversities. There's a current movie, Nana Koto, which is one of the biggest, commission projects on the channel. And Nana Koto is very beautiful. It's the Ashantis, their culture, their history. And then there was Asi, also by Richard Governor. And, that was also in Ewe. You understand? And this is one in Ghana. So as a channel, I see their vision clearly. You understand? Let us promote our cultural diversities. And they're doing great at it. You understand? So I feel that this is a win-win for Ghana. It is not me, it is the country. It's at the spotlight. And let's shine as a nation.
Were you disappointed?
I was not disappointed. I feel that, the discourse is in the right direction to know our problem and try to address it. A lot of people are coming out to speak their mind. And I feel that when we are open to talk about this, then we find solutions to it. Because the problems are there, they're hidden. But
we pretend.
We're not talking about it. So to have this social discourse is healthy, it's a healthy discourse. Whether you see it as good or bad, it is in good light. At the end of the day, I'm pretty sure that...
Just out of curiosity,
jinxes.
Was the decision to maintain the original language a production decision or a platform decision?
It was...
together?
Yes, it was collaborated. Decision.
On the journey to translate script to screen, what would you say was your most favorite thing to do?
Most favorite? I feel engaging, the right resources, the right personnel, going back to people who are custodians of the language. And I feel it's a trace that for me, I will never forget, that there are people who really have the real Ghana culture, and they are able to translate it. Not many people today are able to do that. And I feel that over time, these things will fade out. And that is my fear. So if we have people who are real custodians, I feel we need to preserve them.
So, my biggest fear now, if we take out maybe an Akwaba Magic and its fearless investment into a space like this, to change the narrative and to empower persons like you, would you be able to produce such as continuity and sustainability of such a space? And would that bring us back to square one, where we are?
I really don't think so. I think it's also one part of an investor coming into the system, and growing up also. I feel a lot of investors also will be coming. So yes, there'll be more opportunities. On this road, there'll be more opportunities.
How open and ready would you say we are? Because there've been cries, right? I only noticed a couple of days ago that the award scheme that awarded or that upholded filmmakers and movies and stuff like that,
movie awards
it's gone down.
Crashed,
we've not had that in a while, right? How ready would you say we are to revive the industry and then give it the glory of the past days that it had? Because I think that in the past couple of years, maybe 15-20 years ago, we had so many movies that we could cling to and say that these are Ghanaian movies. We don't have that anymore. Are we ready?
Yeah, I think we are.
But which movies will we award?
That's why I'm asking whether we are ready, because I mean, although the movies are there, we don't have that. We don't have the schemes anymore. We are not seeing it. Of
for
course,
me, since
there
last time
movies,
that this lady Yvonne released Kotoka, is it Kotoka, right? The movie. I haven't followed any much on the Ghanaian movie scene.
People are releasing.
There've been so many.
No.
That's what I'm asking.
So many movies.
Yes.
So many movies. But please qualify the movies.
Oh, right, I get you. Like the quality of the movies. That's what you're asking.
Not just the releases.
Yeah, releases, I'm sure. I mean, there'll be a lot of releases. But, wow.
I want to ask William, from Azali to this, and through other films you've worked on, as a lead, what role do you think, and how has advertising impacted the reception of your content? Because I'm in Ghana here and I'm hyped about the new Godzilla and King Kong film, because they are marketing it to me like I'm somewhere. How do we tap into that, and what are your experiences?
I think this project has also been a very perfect example, within the Ghanaian space. Olele, I mean, unfortunately, I'm not that kind of radio, TV. I'm always behind my computer.
Your guy told me.
We don't like that, so welcome.
So when I heard, so Olele posted, I said, who is Olele? And quickly I had to go, dig, search, and I followed immediately, and I feel that is good for us, because once we learn that there's this tool available to us, once we are able to tap into the technological space, the social media space, and we begin to explore that venture, I feel, of course, a lot of people today who do not have the marketing budget to go on TV, come on radio, once you are able to do a very quality job and you put it on social media, you can engage a few expertise in that space to promote it. Utilizing it, for me, I mean, the whole world is now utilizing the space. I feel we need to learn more. We need to engage, you understand? And I feel that's the only way to grow.
I have two questions. Have you been reached out after this thing went viral by anybody in, high authority?
Yes, we had the privilege to have a special screening for the First Lady.
Okay.
Yes, and so together with the channel.
That's nice.
What were her reactions to that?
Yes, seeing that it's settling, as a Ghanaian, that people within the highest echelons of power, get to sit and watch Ghanaian film, produced by a Ghanaian, and I feel. For me, I feel that's a very good way, because you can have an American president talk about a film, and that in itself is an advertisement for the film.
Yeah.
And means all these corporate bodies, all these powers that be, once we all channel our energies,
the ripple effects will reach them. Yeah.
You understand? It can take us farther than we can imagine.
How about the traditional leaders and the Ga communities?
Yes, I've had some engagement of social media, to be present at some local channels.
Okay.
Of course, we're yet to do that. And I've also seen articles.
Articles.
Yes, published. I've read them, and I feel it's good.
How far are you looking to see?
Just the last one, please.
Okay.
The most important question that people have asked me is, how do they get to watch this film outside Ghana? And I know it is licensed to Akra Magic. Akra Magic will do their thing, but are there plans to
Showmax or something?
Put it, on the very.
Yes, I cannot also speak for certain jurisdictions, so I leave that entirely to.
You Netflix shoot my movie there. You want me to take you?
No, I mean, you see,
I'm just teasing.
I get you. I'm not even trying to be funny.
It's not my work.
I know.
Yes. It's an Akwaba original.
Yes, and I think that's what people need to understand, that it's an Akwaba Magic original.
Akwaba Magic original.
You are just a director and a cinematographer.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. So, but I'm hoping
Charlie,
that because
you've done a good job.
I was going to ask William how far he's looking to see this movie go. What are your visions? I mean, we will see it, we will wish for it to do its thing, probably get on the festivals and all of that. We will want that, right? But for someone who has put his blood, sweat, tears and toil in this, how far do you want to see it go?
I don't know. My vision for it is limited, and it's in the corridors of Akwaba Magic. So it's their project now.
Okay.
It's on their desk.
Right.
Are you filming any other things?
Right.
Are you working?
Oh,
you're on a break.
24/7.
We're working. Have a lot of projects. Yeah, we're working.
Fiber Bernard says you are a theater director, or you were a theater director, or are you still a theater director?
Yeah, I did a recent project, Missing in Action.
That was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I wrote, directed.
Right. So she's asking how
actually.
Is it Fiber?
Yeah, Fiber is a
guy.
He? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let me
he's asking how being a theater director impacted your work as a film director.
Of course, theater is the is a big brother of film.
I like this guy.
So, you know, for us, theater was a foundation to developing or acquiring the skill for film. You know, and being a director, I've been an actor, a director, and I'm also too.
Oh,
I'm an ordained man of God.
Right. Okay.
Does that in any way affect your job when you have storylines that might, you know, provoke certain quarters of religion?
Yes, of course, definitely. I mean, you don't want to tread certain paths, you know, so I have to be very meticulous. Yeah.
I want to give a big shout out to the guy who did your score.
Yeah, Gomez Tito.
Yes. He's Ghanaian.
Yeah, he's Ghanaian.
And it was an original score.
Yes, that's perfectly original.
Beautiful.
That's nice.
Shout outs to him.
I mean, Gomez. Yes, we've worked with Gomez. You know, we're in the same class at the University of Ghana. You know, my coursemate.
Oh, so you were in School of Performing Arts?
Yes. Yeah,
then Lenny is your.
He was that's why I was saying to you guys that he was my TA. But I don't think he will remember that. He was my TA back in school, but I don't think he will remember.
I see.
So
full circle,
yeah. Yeah, I mentioned it to him before we started. He doesn't seem to remember because I was really quiet.
Yeah, she's that quiet.
I was not.
William,
I'm told La Shikitele, did I get it right? Shikitele Ni Kofi the fourth is crazy about it. I'm sure it's in the Ghana.
We thank your parents for giving birth to you.
Yeah, I lost my mom last
all the way
year.
around.
And I wish she was here. I lost her very last year.
People like
God
you,
rest her
we need to
soul.
keep in a glass cage. You know, people like you have to keep in a glass air conditioner and security. Relax, air conditioner and security around you. You know, and carry you like egg. That's what we need to do. I mean,
I think it's. Let me ask him just one more question.
Please hurry. Time is up, Olele.
With what we've seen, do you think we can shoot a Kwame Nkrumah biopic?
Yeah, of course. And I have
and
people,
we shoot it to the standard that you
definitely. I have people who, you know, they've approached me. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
They're interested in doing
with money or with resources.
Money and resources.
So we are going to see a Kwame Nkrumah biopic.
Yeah, very soon.
Directed by William Kojo Agbeti.
You've got wheels.
Inshallah.
Charlie.
All right. You said it here first. That's what we need, exclusive.
Talking about exclusives and all, you come like, you know, you should give us private screening here, like by now, you know.
Then I have to talk to my channel managers. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure that will be the end of my business.
Good morning to Nosisa.
We need to
Nosisa,
talk.
good morning. I greet you from the quarters of your neighbor. William, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
And Wednesday
here.
is showing on Aquaba Magic.
Wednesday, time.
PM. Yeah, time is 3:30.
3
o'clock.
Oh, 6 March, 3 p.m.
Okay.
3 p.m.
And it's a trilogy, right?
Yeah, it's a trilogy.
So
yeah. You get to watch it then.
Thank you so much. I've personally been wild. I've just been watching you quietly, and I'm just keep congratulating you. Please, we're here to support you in any way possible. So do all to reach out and don't sit behind your PC. We are here as media to always also promote and talk about. So it's a part of our jobs. So thank you very much for coming and honoring this invitation. Olele, thank you very much for pulling this off as well. Guys, it's been a great one. Cyril, thank you so much for.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Well, you know what?
Everybody knows. Lenny, for being a good student in class as well. Thank you very much. And we're back here same time tomorrow on Culture Daily, and we're out.